Thank you for logging on to the Voice Sports Network for this broadcast of high school sports. We encourage you to go to the games and support your area teams. We know you have a choice, and thank you for choosing us. This broadcast wouldn't be possible without the support of the sponsors you hear throughout the game. We encourage you to visit their businesses and use their service as often as possible. Be sure to tell them thanks for their support. Now, sit back and enjoy the game, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Steve Roberts, along with Mike Walker. How we doing, Mike?
We're doing great now that it's not raining, Steve.
Absolutely. We are under the canopy here at the Jungle, the home of the Leo Lions, to call the action for the inaugural game of the conference in the Northeast, made up of 8. They call it the Northeast 8.
And we're just gonna
a funny name at that. It's peculiar.
The Northeast 8. We're gonna call it the NE8 to simplify things.
Everything else is simplified nowadays.
And I don't know why we wouldn't do that to our conference as well. Steve, do you know the 8 conference teams in the NE8?
I think I do. Let me consult my cell phone because I don't have it off the top of my head.
Alphabetically?
Yes, I'll just go alphabetically. No.
We've got Belmont. We've got Columbia City. We have DeKalb. We have East Noble. We have Huntington North. We have our very own Leo Lions. We have the Norwell Knights. And we have the New Haven Bulldogs. Almost in alphabetical order there. We slipped up with Norwell and New Haven, but
that was pretty good.
It was close. Those are the NE8 conference teams, and this is the inaugural NE8 game here at the Lions Den.
First ever Allen County Athletic Conference is no more for the Lions. Left that last year. Moved on to the NE8. As you can see off in the distance there, we got the Leo guys getting hyped up. We're on a bit of a delay. We had a lightning flash about 30 minutes before the game that put a abrupt end to the pregame festivities for both teams.
Yeah, they automatically have to clear the field whenever a lightning flash is seen for 30 minutes, and they came back out for a short 10-minute period warm-up, and we are getting ready for the kickoff now.
Absolutely. So we're going to go ahead and cover on the very brief and abrupted University of St. Francis pregame show. As you hear Kevin Yale announce the inaugural conference game for the Leo Lions here again at Leo, Indiana. We're going to cover the University of St. Francis scoreboard. We'll have that for you folks, as well as now we're here on the University of St. Francis pregame show.
Number 75 senior Hunter Ingle.
As you see the Leo band take the field off in the distance.
Left tackle Curtis Blackwell, number 62.
And you'll also notice we got some different graphics up. It's a little bit slow going on here in the early going, but we have some graphics that we're able to put up on the screen to give the viewer a little bit more realistic, like you're actually watching TV kind of experience. So hopefully those are going to be able to be put on there okay from Jim out there in the production truck. And we're going to cover the starters. The starters are going to be brought to you today by Grable Insurance. The most important job is to make sure, their most important job is to make sure you leave with the best coverage you can afford. Grable Insurance on Pony Run Express inside the Mercantile Office Park.
So I'm going to go ahead, Steve, and I'm going to start off with the Norwell offensive starters here. We've got a split end wearing number 4. That's Avery Taylor. At left tackle wearing number 62 is Curtis Blackwell. Left guard, number 72, Chandler Schoaf. At center, wearing number 51 is Devin Helmke. Right guard, wearing number 52 is Austin Miller. Right tackle, wearing number 75 is Hunter Ingle. Playing wide receiver, wearing numero uno is Bray Wilson. Quarterback for Norwell tonight is number 12, Carson Gerber. The fullback is number 33, Peyton Laley. Running back wearing number 22 is Connor Nash. And the tight end for the Knights tonight is wearing number 8 is Colt Rinkenberger. For Norwell's. Oh, go. You know what? Go ahead.
No, hey. I was just going to say thanks for covering that.
I'm going to go ahead and hit up Norwell's defense right now. At one D end, wearing number 53 is Colin Schwartz. At defensive tackle, wearing number 41 is Bailey Wright. The other defensive tackle, wearing number 54 is Dalton Southard. Defensive end wearing number 52 is Austin Miller again. Linebacker number 40, Trevor Eichler. At linebacker wearing number 21 is Bryce Kelly. The other linebacker position wearing number 35 is Ivan Allison. At one safety is number 43, Jaron Stoppenhagen. The other safety wearing number 3 is Christian Bohada. One cornerback wearing number 2 is Brody Myers. The other cornerback wearing number 23 is Carson Ringer.
All right, thank you for that, Coach Walker. And I'll run down the offensive starters and the defensive starters for your home Leo Lions. But before we do that, we're going to consult the national anthem, if you can hear it, and we're going to pause.
And a big thank you to Bob Myers and the Pride of the Leo Marching Band with
Absolutely.
a great job there with the national anthem.
I say it after every time I hear that. That never gets old.
Never gets old.
Ever.
And just as the national anthem was being played, we've got another little shower coming down, but fortunately no lightning.
And fortunately I brought my canopy.
Fortunately, you brought your canopy. Or this little project may not be going as planned if we did not have the canopy.
Yeah, it's actually working out fairly well so far.
Yes, it is.
The starting lineup for your Leo Lions are going to be brought to you by the YMCA of Greater Village People. Anybody heard of it? Anyways, the YMCA of Greater Fort Wayne with a full range of workout equipment, personal trainers, certified instructors, a full line of classes, an indoor pool, and childcare. The Greater Fort Wayne YMCA is the place for you. Visit fwymca.org. Excuse me. Yeah, .org. Anyhow. Not sure who. Okay, it looks like the Lions are going to be kicking off, so we'll cover the defense first for the Leo Lions. I think they defer to the second half, so we're going to get the opening kickoff in the second half, kicked off to the Leo Lions. Starting out on the defensive side for the Leo Lions, number 54, Big Jahan Allen. Number 61, Chase Walters. JT Wenglakowski at 55. Austin Rinker round out the defensive line for the Lions. Outside linebacker Mason Kern. Outside linebacker Michael Lance. And the inside, the heart of the defense on the inside linebackers, number 28, Joe Lambright. Number 40, Clevis Parker. And on the corners, we have Jason Gauze and Stanton Haney, as well as number 2, Bo Carpenter at the safety spot. And we have a kickoff by BVG. That one rolls into the end zone and out, so that's going to be a touchback.
A nice kick there by Von Gunton to start the game for a touchback.
Yes, and as I said, BVG, that is, of course, Ben Von Gunton, the sophomore, 5'10", 147, and he's got a leg that's probably about 140 of that.
Yeah.
He's got a huge
leg and a very valuable weapon for the Lions team, that's for sure.
Right.
Want to talk real quick about records here. Leo is 2-0 coming into the contest. Norwell is 0-2. Norwell lost big to Eastbrook 0-41. Also lost to the Heritage Patriots 7-12. So from what I can see, Steve, so far, it looks to me like Norwell has a tough time scoring.
Right, and there's the handoff taken by Laley and stopped for maybe a half yard.
Yeah, they tried the right-hand side there, and the Lions did not give much, maybe a half yard there on that gain.
So again, I'd like to thank everybody for joining us here on The Voice tonight. If you haven't made it out to the soggy grounds of the Leo Stadium, a.k.a. the Jungle. And so far, Leo has started out 2-0 and opened up against South Bend Riley, beat them 48-14, and last week here in Angola, 51-7.
There's a little flare out to number 4.
Run out on the left
Taylor
side.
Avery, yep.
Sorry about that.
With a little gain, about 4 yards maybe. So bringing up third down and about 7.
Yeah, so again, 48-14, 51-7. I'm not a math major, but that looks like 99-21 as far as how many points Leo has scored versus their opponents so far this season.
Yeah, looks like Leo and Norwell really have opposite scores going on here. Leo doesn't have much trouble scoring now. I know that the two teams they played, I don't want to take anything away from those teams, but neither one powerhouses defensively, so it's kind of hard to read. Here's a little delayed handoff, and that he's dropped for a loss. It's Connor Nash from Norwell, and he loses about a yard. That brings up fourth down and about 11. So
not really sure who made the tackle. We'll call it a pride of Lions there. There was quite a bit of people on that tackle. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure the Leo's defense, Steve, is pretty stout because you can tell by the two opening game scores.
Yeah.
Teams are struggling to score against them.
As we have Ingle Hunter back to punt. He drops the muff to punt. Now he's taking it on a run by himself, and that's going to give the Lions great field position to start this opening drive here in the first quarter.
The Lions will take over first and 10.
Looked like Zach Kirsten, who maybe made that stop. No, that was number 9, possibly Stanton Haney, it looks like, who wrestled the punter down. So Leo is going to take over with some really nice field position. They are on their own 15 already, knocking on the end zone door.
So far this year, Coach Souders like to come out in the shotgun, which he does with Tyler Hensinger in the backfield and Craig Kloffenstein taking the snap. And he does. This is a swing pass. A nice move up and in. He is gone for the touchdown. That is Trenton Bonner.
And just like that, the Lions are on the scoreboard to Trenton Bonner. Nice little flare, quick little out to Bonner, and Bonner knew what to do with the ball. I don't think anybody laid a finger on him, Steve, and he just waltzed into the end zone.
Yeah, it was a great little short screen out to the right. You just let your couple blockers get outside, set the wall for you, and Bonner did the rest.
So Von Gunton on for the point after, and he is up and right through the middle. So that makes it with 9:49 yet to go in the first quarter. Leo 7, Norwell 0.
And we're going to take a quick timeout and have some words from our sponsors. From the Leo Lions Stadium Field, the Jungle, here we are.
Hi, this is Dale from The Voice Enterprises. For countless years, I struggled with back pain, and more often than not, the doctors would just prescribe pain meds, which would just dull the pain. It wasn't until I was referred to Indiana Physical Therapy that I truly experienced pain relief. The professionals at IPT showed me the correct exercises and stretches for my problems, and my back pain began to fade away, and as a result, my entire body began to feel better. Indiana Physical Therapy's highly trained professionals treat all types of injuries and ailments and accept all insurance. For more information on IPT or to schedule an appointment, call 824-0522 or visit indianapt.com. You know that.
Okay, we're back.
Connor Nash awaits the kickoff.
And we got a kickoff from BVG. As Connor Nash, he's going to let it go into the end zone, so a couple of consecutive touchbacks.
So Von Gunton with another deep kick. I'm telling you, not only for scoring purposes, but for kickoffs and directional kicks, to be able to drop that ball into the end zone and not give the team even a chance for a return. That's a pretty major league weapon that a lot of high schools don't have.
Absolutely. And he's a sophomore. Last year he was doing the same thing as a freshman.
Yeah, just a sophomore. So I'm sure he's going to be looked at by quite a few colleges here, if not already in the near future. But what a weapon to have for your team.
Absolutely. So we got the lefty getting flushed out of the pocket. He finds his man Nash on the wing.
Gerber's pass is complete to Connor Nash.
And he's going to get some positive yardage out of it from what was pretty much an evident loss on the play.
That was Mason Kern, who provided a ton of pressure from the left side and really flushed him out. Gain of about 4 on the play, maybe 3.5, so 2nd and 7. Norwell brings the play in from the sideline.
Just put up the Subway/University of St. Francis scoreboard for you, folks. It's not going to have the running clock on it because, frankly, that's too much for the guys in the production truck to handle.
So Carson Gerber keeps that time and finds some running room up the middle, and that's Norwell's first down of the game. A gain of about maybe 7.5, 8 yards. So we got just enough to move the chains.
Gerber's hit by number 4, Mason.
Nice job by the Norwell line to open up some holes.
Absolutely. So a pretty crafty, shifty little move there from Nash. He seems to be kind of like a little Michael Vick. He's a southpaw, throws the ball left-handed, looks to be pretty nimble on his feet, as he showed there in the last play. So with 8:40 and counting left, 7-0 Leo over the Norwell Knights thus far.
Norwell comes out in the eye. There's a handoff. Oh, and he is taken down immediately.
In the backfield by Austin Rinker. Clevis Parker. That was a great hit.
Yeah, that was Nash with the carry, and Rinker was on him just seconds after, a half second after he touched the ball. Rinker was already on him and laying the hit.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what happened there, if there was a miscommunication as far as what blocking scheme they were trying to go with, or maybe the lineman got a completely different call than what was actually called.
Yeah, Rinker came untouched, and he was...
They sniffed it out real well.
He was on a mission.
It's a fake. Here's Nash not Nash.
It's Gerber.
Gerber on the rollout. And he's got some positive yards, gained about 7 on the play. So that'll bring up 3rd and about 6, we'll say.
Mason Kern and Lambright on the tackle there. I'm not sure if that was designed. I think it was. It didn't look like he was really going to make any attempt to pass. Just rolled left, looked for a little lane, found it. Good little gainer, brings up 3rd and 6 after that first down 4-yard loss. So he did gain. So he gained about 10 yards there. So that's going to bring up 3rd and 6. Ball's on the 35. And again, another little rain shower. But there is some sun behind this one, so that is a good sign.
Yeah, you can see the shadows being cast on the field of the players. And some good pressure that time by 55 for Leo. Another great job by Wenglikowski. And that's a name we called very, very much last week. A lot of times last week, sorry. He had a phenomenal game against the Angola Hornets, and you can see he's not losing a whole lot of steps as of right now.
No,
that's going to bring up a punt this time.
There were a host of Lions in Gerber's face.
Yeah, I told Paul, it's a pride.
It's a pride. It's a pride of Lions.
So the boot, big by Engel, and that one's taken. Up the gut there.
This is Gunnar Brown
across midfield out to about the 45-yard line.
A nice return by Brown of about 15, maybe 17 yards. So that puts the Lions back into great field position for their second possession of the game. They're going to have the ball on Norwell's 46-yard line.
Here, the Norwell 46.
And the change of possession was brought to you by the University of St. Francis, known for quality academic options, dedicated professors. You'll discover the perfect program to fit your interests and goals. See for yourself what USF has to offer. Visit online at sf.edu. As Craig Kloffenstein out of the shotgun, we got 4 wide for Leo. It's a handoff underneath to Hensinger. Shakes one tackle, runs over a couple of others, and he takes it out. Gain about 3 yards to the 42, we'll call it.
Hensinger met by number 35, Ivan Allison.
That was Ivan Allison on the stop as we hear Kevin Yale in the background announcing.
Good pursuit there by Norwell. Leo kind of had that blocked nicely, but the line took on the blockers, and the linebackers came in and filled and made us a good stop there. Gain of about 3, maybe 4, 2nd down and 6.
This is Hensinger on the left side. Steps through a couple of tackles. Out again to the 26-yard line, roughly. A nice run. That's going to pick up about 10 yards, 10 to 12 yards right there.
Nice little misdirection, little quick hitter. Hensinger came in motion, and Klovenstein handed him the ball. He came from right to left, and he's moving by the time he gets that ball, and that's tough for the defense to catch up. He got the edge. Nice gainer. Brings up a 1st and 10 for Leo on Norwell's 28-yard line.
Yeah, so Bonner comes out for the Lions. Another substitution there as well. They go with a little bit bigger lineup. That's Joe Lambright as well as Clevis Parker, both checked in for the Leo Lions. Under center, out of the I formation. Kloffenstein hands off to Hensinger. Hensinger, a little speed up the middle. Great job of the offensive line getting off the ball and putting it to the Norwell Knights as of right now.
And Steve, this is a little bit of a grudge match tonight because last year, this was Leo's first game of the season, and Leo came out in that first half, and they were very sluggish. Norwell really stuck it to him. They had Harnish there at QB, and Norwell put it to him the first half. Leo came out in the second half, got things squared away, and almost came back and won that game, but they didn't.
Yeah,
so I think Leo
14-13.
Leo's got a little bit of a chip on the shoulder.
Mm-hmm. A quick slant to Gunnar Brown. Nice job of maintaining possession there. Things are wet, like we said, folks. It's been raining, had some lightning. It's still coming down nicely right now, even though the sun's shining. So,
a nice job there by Brown to maintain possession, like you said, Steve, because the defender was on him right away.
Yeah, that was Ivan Allison there. He's 5'7", 156. He's a wide receiver and a defensive back, speedy guy, even though he doesn't have the largest of size. He gets around real good and did a good job of making a solid tackle, not letting Gunnar get to the end zone for a touchdown. So misdirection again. It's a counter to the left. This is Hensinger off the left side. Bounces off one tackle. And he's in for the touchdown.
Wow, what a run by Hensinger on that left side. You saw him bounce it out. He took some contact, bounced it out again to the left, took some more contact, bounced it out one more time, and was able to find the end zone. What a great effort by Hensinger for the second score with 5:08 still left in the first quarter. Von Gutten back on for the extra point to try to put Leo up a quick 14-0.
Yeah, not a lot of time ticked away so far here in the first quarter. And BVG, like clockwork, pops it through the uprights. And the lead for the Lions has been increased to 14. We're going to take a quick timeout. A little word from our sponsors. Subway sounds good, but Marcos, I think right now, because I just ate a piece earlier before the game, sounds a little bit better.
That Marco's Pizza in downtown Leo offers delicious pizza. But did you also know they have wings, subs, bread, and many other items that are also delicious? And did you know you could order online at marcospizza.com? And did you know they have catering to help out with that party, meeting, or any event? And did you know they have carry-out and delivery? Well, now you know. Marco's Pizza in downtown Leo has pizza and so much more. You can get carry-out, delivery, catering, and order online, or call them at 627-2227. That's 627-2227.
Okay, folks, we are back. Getting word from some of our loved ones that the pictures are not matching up with our voices or vice versa. Apparently, we're discussing the action a little bit ahead
of the
pictures themselves. Sorry, I didn't turn your mic up there. Sorry about that, Mike.
Okay.
I mean to leave you out of that.
I won't take it personally this time. Whoa. Von Gunn.
Another one by Von Gunn.
Booming kick.
And that's a little bit short this time, taken by number 23, Carson Ringer. And he's brought down.
You mentioned that kick was a little shorter, Steve, but he got so much hang time on that kick that the Gunners were down there to make the play. So not a big return, but again, what a weapon Von Gunton is.
Yeah.
Didn't kick it in the end zone, but got a lot of hang time on that kickoff to give his coverage team time to get down to make the play.
Absolutely, Mike. And that's another thing we talked about prior and even last season, towards the end of the season, as they moved Ben Von Gunton, a.k.a. BVG, to the punter position after Austin Rinker, after Rinker was taken out. Von Gunton has a way of punting the ball it doesn't get higher than these stands that we're sitting in. And he just puts a ton of topspin on it, and it's like every time he hits it, it runs straight down the field, and it almost rolls as much as it is in the air.
Yeah, he kicks a laser line drive that has
kind of a side, like a soccer style,
like
type of
rugby style kick.
Yeah, rugby style kick. Exactly.
And he does. He gets a lot of straight line momentum into that, and you're right. He gets a friendly bounce every time,
yep.
And that's difficult for the return guy to handle.
Absolutely.
It
resulted in a fumble last week against Angola.
Because that football's bouncing, and you know how footballs bounce. I mean, it's different every time.
Yep. A great play on the outside edge on the quarterback keeper was brought down by Mason Kern. A great job of staying at home, not biting on the play fake.
Mason Kern made the stop.
Yeah, again, the Lions not having any trouble getting quick penetration, giving Gerber fits just by the time he first has the snap. It doesn't. So again, the Lions causing all kinds of trouble there for Norwell. There's a snap to Gerber. He's in the end zone. He's nope. Gets rid of it. It's picked.
It's picked, and that is 6. And guess who is there? Mason Kern again. 2 huge plays for the 5'7" senior.
And again, the pressure is what caused the interception.
It was nearly a safety.
Nearly a safety.
It was a pretty good job of getting the ball even out of his hand.
I didn't catch who had Gerber grabbed, but he was going down as he made that throw, and Kern was right there, broke right in front of the receiver for an easy pick 6.
All right, so once again, BVG getting a little leg workout early with the kickoffs and the extra points, which is always a good thing if you're a Leo Lion. Pops it through the uprights, and we're going to take another break real quick and hear from our sponsor from TW Fable.
At Grable Insurance, their most important job is to make sure you leave with the best coverage you can afford. They want to provide you protection from the unfortunate.
TW Fable, a modern American restaurant, is located inside the clubhouse at Timber Ridge Golf Course at 2330 East, 250 North in Bluffton. You can enjoy a fine dining experience Tuesday through Thursday, 5 to 9, Friday and Saturday, 5 to 10. Kitchen closes 1/2 hour prior to lounge. If you are looking for a great spot to have lunch, visit 250 Grill to enjoy some sandwiches, wraps, salads, and appetizers. TW Fable Restaurant, 2330 East, 250 North at Timber Ridge Golf Course. Reservations recommended by calling 260-353-1360. This is...
All right, folks, we're back. 21 points to 0 points in favor of the Leo Lions here at the Jungle over the Norwell Knights. So far, 4 minutes, 15 seconds left here in the first quarter. That's Nash. Takes the ball off the top of his head.
That was Connor Nash.
Recovered it out to about the 16-yard line. Okay, we'll call it the 16, where the Norwell Knights are going to take over again.
Well, Nash was fortunate enough that the ball took a good bounce because he lost the ball, and I don't know if he lost it in the lights, but it did hit off his helmet, and he had no idea where the ball was. He looked down, and it was right there, where that would have been a huge turnover after Leo just scored within 45 seconds of their previous score. So Leo up 21-0 with 4:10 left to go in the first quarter.
Right. Now, if you're the Norwell Knights, you're thinking, well, 21-0, we've been down. It's, we can get something going here, put together a solid drive here, get some points on the board, bring it to within 14. It's still the first quarter. A lot of game to play.
A lot of game to play, and I can see the frustration beginning to mount this early in the game because Leo just forms a wall of defense on any run play Norwell's tried, and you've seen what happens when Gerber drops back to pass. Before he gets the snap in the shotgun, he's got 2 or 3 Lions in his face. So they're going to have to figure something out on that line to make some waves for running back or to keep some penetration out and give Gerber a little bit of time.
Here's Gerber again. Under center this time. He hands off to Nash. Nash with a little bit of room. Stiff arms to get to the outside. And he's brought down by Gauze. As well as Bo Carpenter.
No gain on the play. That's 3rd down and 9. So Leo strung that out and held him for no gain.
Yeah, I was literally just going to say, that's one of the things that the Lions defense does and has done the first 2 games of the season so well. And we saw it last year. It's just the speed. They're able to get the runners, instead of going north and south, they're able to stack the side that they're going to and get the runners to go east and west. And if you're a running back, which I used to be way back, I don't even say how long ago, you want to run north and south.
40 years ago.
Yes, yeah. You want to run towards the end zone, not toward the sidelines.
No.
North and south, not east and west. And, again, that's the thing that Leo's been doing a good job of. As they set up the screen this time to Nash. A good job of getting there, but
good shoestring tackle there. I'm not
Yep. That was 28 for Joe Lambright.
That was a nice tackle by Joe, or that probably would have gone for a first down. But there's a nice misdirection play by Norwell. Gerbers kind of came to the right, faded to the right, or to the left, and then passed back to the right. So a little misdirection caught Leo off guard for a nice little pickup of about 7. It brings up 4th and 4, and they're punting.
It's going to be the big guy again. That's Hunter Engel, and he gets a nice one. Almost not end over end, but gets it to turn over. And Bo Carpenter did a great job getting it out there. We got a flag on the far side of the field.
Yeah, a 20-yard return there by Bo Carpenter. We'll see what the call is going to be.
Yeah, so a great job of getting it out of there by Hunter Engel, the big 6'4", 266, and he's the punter. I tell you what, it makes sense.
Well,
that's probably a guy you want booting the ball back there for you.
He showed he had some leg. That was a really nice punt. He actually outkicked his coverage a little bit, gave Carpenter a little bit of time to get ahead of steam up before any of the gunners were down to make a play. And that is going to go against the Lions.
I didn't see what the call was there.
I didn't either.
Leo penalized for holding on the return. 1st and 10 at the 50.
Apologies for the display, folks. The camera seems to want to jump out of the zoom that Mike Walker's putting it in for whatever reason.
Any complaints, please call Paul Newberg. We'll give you his number here momentarily.
Tweet him on Twitter. I don't know what it is.
Hit him on Facebook, Instagram. I don't care what you do, but any complaints, send directly to Coach Paul Newberg. He will appreciate those, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
I believe he's in the concession stand this evening.
At Lures.
At Lures for a football game.
Has a boy that plays there, I believe he said?
He has a daughter.
A daughter, and she likely doesn't play football.
His boy is approximately 3 years old, so he is not playing yet at Lures.
Give him time.
Could be carrying water.
So that was a Hensinger run off the left side for about 7.5, about 7. Here's Hensinger up the gut again. Stopped big time that time. That was a very nice hit by Dalton Sutherland. 5'10", 223, and he was able to put the stick on Hensinger after he picked up the first down. Gained about 4 yards on the play.
Yeah, I like Hensinger. He puts that shoulder down. He needed to there, and he was able, with his forward momentum before that big hit, was able to get about a yard across that line of scrimmage to gain the first down. So a nice run by Hensinger brings up 1st and 10. Leo with the ball on Norwell's 30, about 39. 21-0 here with 1:20 left in the first quarter. Klavenstein back.
Out of the shotgun, 4 wide receivers, Hensinger behind him. It's a quick route to Trenton Bonner, and this time Bonner is drilled, and Norwell is going to pick it up. We talked about him before, and that is number 35, Ivan Allison, laying the wood that time on Trenton Bonner. And Coach, that was the same play that Leo scored on, the very first play from scrimmage that they had this ball game. A quick screen like that for 12 yards to Trenton Bonner. And I think he learned from that mistake, you would say.
He did learn from his mistake. It was a great play. The screen, you're right, Steve, was the exact same play. And Norwell sniffed that out, delivered a great hit there, and caused the fumble. It's still raining, so you know the ball's a little slick.
Absolutely.
But that's what Norwell needed. They needed a turnover to maybe hopefully get a little momentum back here with 1:02 left in the first quarter. So the turnover in Norwell's favor.
At the 45-yard line, This is Gerber on the keeper to the right. Leo strings it out,
Gerber's kept the ball.
and he is brought down hard that time by Lambright.
Joe Lambright made the stop.
So suffice it to say, Walker, this is the best field position that Norwell has had this evening. And this is a good place where they can start getting some momentum, hopefully, for them.
Yeah, they've got the ball on their own 45, and by far this is their best field position. Although Gerber did not, he may have picked up a half yard there. The board says 2nd and 10, but I believe it's about 2nd and 9. 23 seconds to go, so Norwell will get this play off.
Another keeper for Gerber. Spin move to the outside, but he was wrapped up by Gunnar Brown.
By Michael Lance.
And that's going to take us down to the end of the first quarter with 7 seconds to go. That brings up a 3rd and 6 for Norwell on the Lions 49.
And the horn means that is the end of the first quarter, and not a tornado, which is a positive thing.
And a possible thing.
And a quite possible thing. So we're going to play some commercials and thank some sponsors. People are helping bring my voice and Mike's voice to you on The Voice from Leo.
You taking the first step towards a healthier you? Or are you just tired of the same workout? From beginners to fitness veterans, the Greater Fort Wayne YMCA is the place for you. We offer a full range of workout equipment, personal trainers, certified instructors, a full line of classes, an indoor pool, and so much more. Have peace of mind when you work out with childcare available. The Greater Fort Wayne YMCA is so much more. Join today. Visit fwymca.org.
At Grable Insurance, their most important job is to make sure you leave with the best coverage you can afford. They want to provide you protection from the unfortunate things that can happen and often do happen. The cheapest insurance is often not the best.
Visit online at GrableInsurance.com or stop in the office on Pony Express Run inside the Mercantile Office Park directly across from Higher Grounds Coffee House and see Ray Gage or Arnie Myers. Grable Insurance is a proud sponsor of East Allen County High School athletics.
And that time a keeper again by Gerber and brought down by Mr. Lambright. Lambright had a great season last year. He wore number 50 or 52 or something like that. Primarily played linebacker. I talked to Coach Souter in the offseason and asked him what we had going on, what can we look forward to, and Lambright was one of the ones that he mentioned being a transitional player. Now they have him running some fullback, and I tell you what, he's a solid fullback. As we have Hunter booting another one out to the right, and that one looks like it's going to go, and it was, out of bounds at about the 20-yard line.
Yeah, I'm used to seeing Joe in that number 55. Now he's wearing number 28, hence the change to the running back position, or the fullback,
correct,
whatever you want to call it. But, yeah, Joe's a beast, and he is so far tonight causing all kinds of havoc for the Norwell Knights.
Yeah, indeed. Came up with a huge sack right there and a little salute to the sidelines. Little showmanship, you want to call that, I think. 11-17 here in the second quarter of the inaugural NE8 game between the Leo Lions and the Norwell Knights. Craig Kloffenstein in a 4-wide set out of the shotgun, drops back, pump fake, has Gunnar Brown over the middle. A nice job of hauling that one in. Didn't really have a whole lot of coverage on him that time, but the throw was a little bit low. Maybe the ball was a little slippery and had a difficult time coming out of his hand or what have you. But.
Yeah, I don't mind that throw, though, Steve, because there were 3 Norwell players that kind of had him encircled. So Craig put that ball in a position that only the Lion could make the catch. So it was a safe throw, but it was a good throw and a nice catch.
Indeed it was. So that's going to be a first down at the 31 for the Lions. Same formation for the Leo Lions. Kloffenstein sends man in motion. Fakes, and it's a keeper for Cray. And nobody was fooled on that time. Nobody was fooled that time, from Norwell. And that was Bryce Kelly, along with Bailey Wright, making the stop for the Norwell Knights. I'm going to say that's about a 0-yard gain.
Yeah, he didn't get any yardage. That might have been a little bit of a busted assignment because both players came through pretty much scot-free.
Indeed.
And laid Cray out. There was just no room for him to run. That brings up a 2nd and 10 on the Lions 31. Kloffenstein back again in the shotgun. He's looking. And a throw, and it's picked.
The pass by Kloffenstein intended for Sauer.
So Sauer, the ball was just maybe a hair high, but it was very catchable. But again, we do still have a little bit of a peppering shower, so you know that ball's slick, and it kind of glanced off Sauer's gloves like that was the case, right into the Norwell hands for their second turnover of the night. Not a bad throw by Cray. Again, it might have been he put a lot of mustard on that throw.
Yeah, he kind of sailed it a little bit. It was a high throw to the inside. It was. I agree. I think it was catchable.
But when it's slick,
got away from
those are tough to bring in.
Off the fingertips. He definitely had to jump and extend for it. So a nice job of recovering the tip drill as Gerber drops back and gets drilled after the drop back, and he's down, a little slow to get up.
And that was number 12, Trenton Bonner, who had a beat on him.
Carson Gerber.
And he and another Lion drove Gerber right into the turf, and Gerber did get up slow, so he felt that.
I think that was 13. I think that was Lance.
That could have been number 13. Yeah, you're right. It could have been Michael Lance there on the play.
Anyhow, a good job of pressure, a good job of pursuit. They came from the opposite side of the field, the right hash mark, and made the tackle after he got the ball away.
Yeah, Gerber had no idea that the pursuit was on.
Right, it wasn't a late hit by any means, but it was one of those ones where the ball comes out and he makes the hit right afterwards, and Gerber's definitely feel it as he hands off to Nash, give himself a breather there. Off the left side at a gain of about nothing on the play.
Yeah, that may be a loss of one. It looks like it's going to bring up a 3rd and 10, maybe 10.5 there.
Yeah.
The ball on the Lions 42 again after the turnover. So again, Norwell benefiting, good field position after the turnover, but still unable to capitalize on either turnover. Gerber almost slips and goes down, but he maintains. He keeps it. Oh, and he is tattooed.
Gerber carries.
And he's having trouble getting up, and it looks like he's going to get to his feet.
With some assistance, and Lambright again. Wow.
That was one of those high-low hits where the first Leo defender kind of came in low, and it's kind of stood Gerber's up, and Lambright just laid him with a perfect form tackle. Nothing wrong, nothing dirty about that tackle. Put the face mask right on the chest. Drove Gerber down into the turf. So Norwell will punt. There's a low snap. Oh, and he squibs it right off the right side of his foot.
It actually rolls backward. So that punt was about 9 yards. And
about a 9-yard net there. So
I used to punt in high school, and I have been there. Well, again, I'm going to, the slick ball, now that snap never got back to the punter. It did hit the ground, and he had trouble fielding it because it was wet. And again, that ball just squibbed right off his foot. So Leo now with some pretty good field position with the ball on their own 32. Kloffenstein back in the shotgun. Trips to the right. He goes that way. Underneath screen.
Little jailbreak screen.
And a great job of staying his ground.
And we got a flag down in the backfield. I'm not sure if that's roughing or a hold.
That was Trevor Eichler on the big stop across the middle. I tell you what, he put the stick on him that time.
That's some kind of a procedural call on Norwell. Roughing the passer, that's what I thought. I think maybe he got hands to the face. I was watching the screenplay, and I didn't see what happened back there, but I didn't see Cray go down, so it just might have been one of those hands to the helmet. But again, I'm not sure. He may have taken him down. So that's a big 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, they're going to walk off the 15. The Lions are going to have it in Norwell territory, in Knight territory.
That puts the ball on Norwell's 48. Leo with a 1st and 10 following that 15-yard personal foul.
They run the 4 wide single back out of the shotgun again. Klopfenstein on 1st and 10 from the 48. It's a handoff to Hensinger. Hensinger up the gut. He's going to give himself about a half a 10, I'd say.
Half a 10. You know what?
Give or take.
In my book, it's about 5-yard gain. I'm going to try to do the math. Yep, that's about 5.
Carry the 2. Yes,
Yeah.
5, right. So 7 minutes, 37 seconds and counting here in the second quarter. From Leo, Indiana, we have the Leo Lions taking on the Norwell Knights in the first ever NE8 conference game for the Lions. And this is Klopfenstein, a little seam route out there to Gunnar Brown. And that is a pretty big gainer, close to about 20 yards on the play.
Well, Norwell's playing in their zone, and the Lions are just kind of running any type of up route they want, up and in. And he's just setting, Brown just kind of takes about maybe a 5 or 7 step penetration into the Norwell defense, just sits and turns, and Norwell defender's about 5 yards off of him, so he's wide open.
Yeah, they're playing, no, now they tightened it up to man-to-man on the outsides. Norwell running a 4-3. This is Lambright, skips through, and he is clear for the touchdown. Straight up the gut, got through a couple of arm tackles from the Knights. And he scampers through for about 29 yards.
Yeah, you can't arm tackle Joe Lambright. I mean,
No.
From a distance, the kid looks kind of tall and slender, but if you see him up close, he is very solidly built, and you can't arm tackle him when he gets up the head of steam.
Yeah.
You really have to put a hit on him low, or he's just not going to go down.
And BVG, Ben Von Gutten on for the extra point. And I will update the Subway scoreboard that you see on your screen. And that scoreboard is also brought to you, folks, that are watching this broadcast by the University of St. Francis. Known for quality academic options and dedicated professors, you'll discover the perfect program to fit your interests and goals. See for yourself what USF has to offer. Visit online at sf.edu.
And
also like to thank. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay. Today's starting lineups were brought to you by Marco's Pizza, located in downtown Leo. Serves not only pizza, but wings, subs, breads, and many other delicious items. Marco's also offers catering, carry-out delivery. That's Marco's Pizza in Leo.
The greater metropolitan area of Leo. Now, Mike, we talk about it in basketball when we cover basketball games. Your favorite at Marco's again?
It's the white cheesy pizza. It's got some chicken on it.
Yeah.
It's got some thinly sliced tomatoes. You can get onion on that. There is some.
Well, you can get anything you want.
You can get. Although they'll customize it for you, but that white cheesy pizza is unbelievable. And that's one of my favorites here from Marco's. But I haven't had a bad pizza from Marco's. So anytime you're in town, give them a call, stop by, and they will do you right.
Absolutely. So a kick is deep from BVG, and that's going to be a little penalty flagger.
Yeah, that's Von Gutten's first bad offering there on the kickoff. Squibbed it a little bit, got right on him, dribbled out of bounds, so that's going to give Norwell some decent field position off on that kickoff.
We can blame that one on the grass being wet.
Absolutely. That was not Ben's fault. It was the grass and a little moisture. You can see he's not very happy with that effort. He came over on the sideline. So that gives Norwell the ball on their own 35, 1st and 10, with 6:53 to go here in the second quarter. And Lions defense continuing to be very stout. And again, just looking at the 2 previous games that Norwell played, not scoring in the first game, and I think only scoring 7 or so against Heritage. So they struggle anyway, and against this defense, that's going to be a problem because the Lions do, like you said, they have some speed, they have some physicality, they have some experience. These guys know what they're doing, and it's just going to be tough to score on them here on their home turf especially.
Their defense has only given up 10.5 points on average, 21 points through the first 2 games. As we see in offsides, a false start. They didn't get set there, and I think they called that one.
And the 21 points, if I'm not mistaken, though, Steve, were all scored in third or fourth quarter situations where I'm certain there probably weren't. There might not have been a Leo starter in the lineup at that time. So
That's true.
So I highly doubt their number one defense has been scored upon. From what I see so far, these guys are pretty good, and multiple tacklers get to the ball, run defense wise, and a lot of good pass rush from all angles. So
right.
So they know what they're doing, and again, if Norwell struggles to score, this is not probably a defense you're looking forward to playing.
A lot of good points there, Mike. I mentioned earlier they like to string it out east and west. That's only going to contribute to low numbers. When you can't run, it makes it harder to pass. Usually the pass feeds off the run, not vice versa. So a pitch to the outside almost found a lane.
Number 23,
the far side of the field. That was Ringer on the run.
That might have been Ringer's first carry of the night. I can't remember if I heard his name so far, but got about 2 yards on that carry, so it makes it about 2nd and 8 on, looks like the 37, maybe closer to the 36. So still, Norwell has a lot of work to do here with 6:23 to go in the second quarter to get back into this ball game, down 28 early points.
Now Norwell out of the shotgun. And this is not Ringer.
Bray Wilson is dropped in the backfield.
That's Wilson, and he was brought down with the quickness
Tyler Garton.
from Tyler Garton.
So Wilson has replaced Gerber, and he took that snap, and again, several Leo defenders were in the backfield almost before the ball hit his hands, and you have to bail out of the play right away.
Right.
And that's what he did, and then he was dropped for a big loss. So it's very tough to keep your eyes downfield when you've got 2 or 3 defenders making a beeline for you before the ball's even in your hands.
It's a good point, and that's another thing with Bray Wilson. He is listed as a wide receiver, and he's a senior. Right? He's quarterback, wide receiver, DB, so obviously not the Knights' first selection as Gerber takes the field to start the game, but coming into the backup role right now, down 28 points, a wet field, a wet ball. It's not the ideal hand that he is dealt to play.
No, and he took another snap, and I believe it was just going to be a run to the left, and there was such good penetration again, and another tackle for a loss by the Lions.
And Hunter Engel, big man, is going to punt it away again for the Knights.
Engel's kick is away.
Puts the boot on that one, and that one's taken back. Oh, a little misdirection to Gunnar Brown. And he cuts it back to the middle of the field. Gunnar Brown looking for some blockers. A nice job there by Brown, making his way down the field. Bo Carpenter received that one on the right side of the field, took it to the right, or on the left side, took it to the right.
Made the flip.
Little pitch back.
Yeah. And for this game, not that important of a play, but for New Haven, who Leo plays next week, which is going to be an unbelievable game because New Haven, to me, and Leo are very balanced squads.
Right.
Now New Haven has to worry about that play. They're not going to say, they're just going to fake it. Leo did. They actually made that little toss and a misdirection on a punt return. And so now New Haven has to prepare for that. So I like that call on Coach Sauter's part, or the special teams coach anyway.
Indeed. And speaking of New Haven next week.
Oh!
Got a penalty flag on the play.
And that was Bonner who took the carry and got up in the air a little bit. That's why you kind of like to see your backs and receivers keep their feet on the ground, because he got up in the air a little bit and just got stuck by Rice. And I think they both actually kind of felt that hit, but you kind of like the way Bonner jumped up and said, "Hey, let's play no, give me the ball again."
Right. Trenton Bonner, 5'7", 145. Could be, if not the fastest guy on the Leo squad, and he's a sophomore.
He does have good speed.
He returns kicks, and as of right now, he has returned 3 consecutive kickoffs for touchdowns. Starting at the end of Game 1 against South Bend Riley, took one 88 yards to the house. 2 more, the opening kickoff last week against Angola, went for 90 yards, and another one for 53 yards.
Yeah, he has wheels. You could see he really, really gets to the line quickly But Bailey Wright was having nothing of that for Norwell.
Kloffenstein, and a miscommunication on the outside there.
Well, Coach Sauter throws his hands up in the air.
Yeah, you can see the bottom of your screen. He's scratching his head.
Well, as number 2, Bo Carpenter went out for that pass, and you can see his jersey was pulled over his shoulder pad, and Coach Sauter was wanting the holding call on the wide receiver there on the right-hand side, but no call was made. That's why his hands went up.
Exactly. Kloffenstein threw that ball like a short post route, just like a 3-step in. Towards the middle, and
Carpenter wasn't there.
There was nobody there.
No.
If you just saw that, just the ball by itself, you're wondering why did they even throw that? Total miscommunication. But I think he had a little help from the defender that time. As Kloffenstein goes up the middle, this is Lambright, stumbles and catches it, and brought down there by number 43, I think it was.
So a nice play again. Lambright just able to sneak out into the open field there and kind of sit and turn, and Kloffenstein delivers the ball right on the numbers, and it makes it 3rd and 1 for Leo on Norwell's 30. 3:37 to go. Again, Leo with a 28-0 lead. And we had another snap back zoom. Those are fun.
And, yeah. And 43 on the stop there, Stoppenhagen.
Tyler Hensinger.
And Hensinger takes it up the gut.
Hensinger with the Lions first down.
Nice run by Hensinger right up the middle. He just kept his legs churning and
Down by number 21, Brian
only needed the 1 yard, but picked up about 6 or 7 there on the play. So nice churning of the legs after contact by Hensinger.
Yeah, I think so far what we've seen is the Lions' offensive line taking control of the defensive line. A lot of the tackles that are being made are not by the defensive linemen.
No.
They're getting second-level and even third-level tackles from the linebackers as well as the safeties.
Yep. And that's not good. You don't want your safeties making a ton of tackles.
Hands it off to Hensinger and brought down the backfield for a loss.
I think that was Bailey Wright again.
That was Austin Miller.
Yep, that was right
and
for Norwell.
Number 40, that would be Trevor Eichler.
Ivan Allison made the stop on Hensinger.
And we're both wrong.
I'm pretty sure I got that call right. Anyways.
Second down.
I don't even see Ivan Allison on there.
Ivan Allison is number 35.
I thought that was 41 who made the play.
It was.
40 is 41. I'm just looking.
It's Bailey
Coach,
Wright.
Bailey Wright. That's what I thought.
We're hearing Kevin Yale, my road co-host. We usually do the games on the road.
The godfather of announcers.
Yes,
Coach Yale.
He's the PA announcer here at the Jungle for the Lions. We're gonna
give him a pass.
Well, yeah. He called it wrong, but we'll give him a pass. Hensinger brought down, and what did we just talk about? We talk about those first and second level guys making the tackles, and that time it was defensive end Austin Miller's doing a great job for the Knights, bringing down Hensinger, and now it's a 3rd and really long for the Lions.
Yeah, 2 great plays back-to-back by the Norwell defense, and I love to see that. When you're getting thumped on the road, and yet you're still sticking in there with the defense and putting your hat on other guys and not just rolling over.
Right.
Continue to make defensive plays. I like it.
Yeah, we got a minute 35 counting down in the first half. Kloffenstein from about the 25, 30. Rolls out, gets hit as he's thrown. That ball tipped, and a great job defending that time by number 25. 25? 26? I can't tell. Too far away. Anyway, guy broke it up.
Yeah, Norwell got some good pressure. Nice little chip
Take
block.
That back. That was Ringer.
Yeah, that was Ringer, the intended receiver. Kloffenstein was hurried, though, and had to deliver that ball just a hair before he wanted to.
Yeah, and a great job of coverage there by Ringer. He comes from the right side of the field all the way over to close to the sideline.
Yeah, that play took a long time to set up.
Right. So 4th and 16, no sense in trying a field goal, although this would be a pretty opportune time to try one from about 47 if you're BVG, and I'm pretty sure he's got the leg to do it.
I'm sure he does, too. He got a little bit of a crosswind, so that may have played into the decision. Kloffenstein going deep into the corner.
Just looking
for Sauer.
Oh, just through his
and there's going to be a flag for pass interference because the defender did tackle him just before the ball got there.
Looked like he laid out for it, and it was just out of his reach. And evidently the referee saw a penalty that I was kind of hidden from behind the obstruction.
Maybe Caleb Hoppy. I'm not sure who that number was. Maybe 35. I'm not sure from here. That was about as far away from us as you can get. Might have been Ivan Allison who just caught Sauer's foot just before the ball got there, and the referee threw the flag. That's going to be pass interference. Yep.
Yeah, they're going to call it on the defense. So high school football.
That was close.
Like college, they call just a 15-yard walk-off from the line of scrimmage. It's not a spot foul.
Not a spot foul.
If 15. It were a spot foul and we're in the NFL, A, these guys would be driving a lot nicer cars, and B, it'd be spotted at the 1-yard line.
At the 1-yard line. So they're going to get 15 yards. That was a close play. That could have almost gone either way. As Sauer was laying out,
yeah,
his
great effort.
Foot just got tripped up. It was bang, bang, but the referee was right there to make the call. So the Lions benefit from the first down call on a long. It was like 4th and 13. So now it's they didn't pick up the first. So they're going to bring Von Gunton in because they did have so much yardage to pick up. That 15 yards didn't create a first down.
Yep, so this is going to be spotted about the 21. No, I'm sorry. About the 14. Going to be kicking it. It's up, and that one is good.
He drilled it.
3-yard field goal.
From 33 yards. BVG. Another one for the Lions. As I take a moment here to tell the production truck
that this snap back is driving me crazy. And it did it again. Okay. Got to keep my eye on that.
So we update the scoreboard. The University of St. Francis scoreboard, as well as being brought to you by Subway Eat Fresh, is 31-0 here in the opening half with 1 minute and 13 seconds left. Also want to thank a sponsor of ours, TW Fable, located inside the clubhouse at Timber Ridge Golf Course, 2330 East, 250 North in Bluffton. Features a fine dining experience Tuesday through Saturday. And if you're looking for a great lunch, visit the 250 Grill. I'm always
looking for a good lunch.
Maybe prices are $2.50. I don't know.
It could be, but
$2.50 sandwich, $2.50 beer, $2.50 fries. Could be
very possible. So here we are with the Lions in the lead, 31-0 with 1:13 to go in the half. Von Gunton in to kick.
Puts the boot on it, and this one is about 2.5 yards deep.
And it's a touchback.
Why is that?
His foot was in the end zone.
Right, I didn't. Okay.
So in high school, if you
evidently that's a new rule.
If your foot hits the end marker, that's it.
So a great boot there by BVG, and I mean, yeah, I guess it was his foot took a step back in. It was right at about the 1-yard line. It looked to be from here a couple of yards deep, but evidently as the high school knowledge in football of Mike Walker enlightens us that if it does touch back, it's basically just like a punt.
It was a pure guess, folks. The referee said touch back.
It's obviously the rule, and you don't see any Leo coaches going haywire over here.
Nice pursuit on the left-hand side by several Leo defenders again.
Yeah, and that's Bray Wilson again, running the sprint right out of the shotgun.
Mike Lance making the lead tackle, and a host of other Lions with him. So that brings up a 2nd and 10. No gain on he lost 3 yards there. 2nd and 13 from the Norwell 16 with 42 seconds to go. And you know what? Norwell's not in all that big of a hurry, Steve, to run another play. They'll get another one off, but that's probably going to do it.
Yeah, you got about 10 seconds on the play clock, so they're going to come up, take one more, and probably call it a half. Regroup and see if they can make it anything better going, get anything going better than they did the first. Wobbly pass outside there, brought in. Nice job being brought in that time.
With the defender draped all over him, so yeah, that was a good catch.
Indeed it was. And that was, I just heard KJ say that, but I don't know who it
Peyton
was.
Laley, maybe?
I'll say it. And that'll do it. So I will change the old scoreboard to halftime. We're going to take a bit of a break, play some commercials, and we'll be back with some halftime stats to cover and talk about, and look ahead to next week as well, what we have after the first half with New Haven, a big-time matchup, as we mentioned before. So I'm queuing up some commercials, and we're going to be taking a break. Be right back. AllenCountyVoice.com from Leo, Steve Roberts, Mike Walker.
You taking the first step towards a healthier you, or are you just tired of the same workout? From beginners to fitness veterans, the Greater Fort Wayne YMCA is the place for you. We offer a full range of workout equipment, personal trainers, certified instructors, a full line of classes, an indoor pool, and so much more. Have peace of mind when you work out with childcare available. The Greater Fort Wayne YMCA is so much more. Join today. Visit fwymca.org.
At Grable Insurance, their most important job is to make sure you leave with the best coverage you can afford. They want to provide you protection from the unfortunate things that can happen and often do happen. The cheapest insurance is often not the best.
Visit online at GrableInsurance.com or stop in the office on Pony Express Run inside the Mercantile Office Park, directly across from Higher Grounds Coffee House, and see Ray Gage or Arnie Myers. Grable Insurance is a proud sponsor of East Allen County High School athletics.
Hi, this is Dale from the Voice Enterprises. For countless years, I struggled with back pain, and more often than not, the doctors would just prescribe pain meds, which would just dull the pain. It wasn't until I was referred to Indiana Physical Therapy that I truly experienced pain relief. The professionals at IPT showed me the correct exercises and stretches for my problems, and my back pain began to fade away, and as a result, my entire body began to feel better. Indiana Physical Therapy's highly trained professionals treat all types of injuries and ailments and accept all insurance. For more information on IPT or to schedule an appointment, call 824-0522 or visit indianapt.com. You know that Marco's Pizza in downtown Leo offers delicious pizza, but did you also know they have wings, subs, bread, and many other items that are also delicious? And did you know you could order online at marcospizza.com? And did you know they have catering to help out with that party, meeting, or any event? And did you know they have carry-out and delivery? Well, now you know. Marco's Pizza in downtown Leo has pizza and so much more. You can get carry-out, delivery, catering, and order online, or call them at 627-2227. That's 627-2227. Marco's Pizza in downtown Leo.
It took Subway restaurants to do flatbread sandwich great, fresh roasted until its flavor reaches the towering peaks of Mount Delicious. You may have had other flatbread, but once you sink your teeth into this appetite-busting mountain of flavor, you'll know this is the real deal. Get any of your Subway favorites on our full-flavor flatbreads and let your taste buds sink into the delicious depth of goodness. Subway of Bluffton, eat fresh with 2 locations to serve you in North Main and inside Walmart.
T.W. Fable, a modern American restaurant, is located inside the clubhouse at Timber Ridge Golf Course at 2330 East, 250 North in Bluffton. You can enjoy a fine dining experience Tuesday through Thursday, 5 to 9, Friday and Saturday, 5 to 10. Kitchen closes 1/2 hour prior to lounge. If you're looking for a great spot to have lunch, visit 250 Grill to enjoy some sandwiches, wraps, salads, and appetizers. T.W. Fable Restaurant, 2330 East, 250 North at Timber Ridge Golf Course. Reservations recommended by calling 260-353-1360. This is your moment. Explore the University of St. Francis. Known for our quality academic options and dedicated professors who practice in their fields, you will discover the perfect program to fit your interests and goals. Hands-on experience with internships, clinicals, and co-ops makes a USF education a great value and investment into your future. Apply now at sf.edu. We are seeking applicants for $15 million in scholarships this year. This is your moment. Believe.
All right, and we're back here at the Lions Den at the inaugural NE8 game between the Leo Lions and the Norwell Knights, where the Lions have a 31-0 halftime lead. So far it has been all Leo. I do have the scoring breakdown for the Lions. The first score occurred at the 9:49 mark here in the first quarter. Craig Kloffenstein completed a 15-yard pass to Trenton Bonner for the first score, making it 7-0 Lions. Second score occurred with 5:08 to go in the first quarter. Tyler Hensinger run for 13 yards for the touchdown, making it after Von Gunton's point after, in both cases, 14-0. Then on the ensuing possession, just 45 seconds later, Mason Kern picks Carson Gerber's pass, and he returns for about a 6, I believe it was, yard touchdown, making it 21-0 Lions again after the extra point. And then in the second quarter, the 6:53 mark, Joe Lambright runs for 29 yards for the touchdown. Von Gunton extra point makes it 28-0. And then with 1:13 to go in the second quarter, 33-yard field goal by Ben Von Gunton was good, capping the score at 31-0 for the Lions. Some team stats here, total offense, and here's where you're going to see the big disparity other than the score. Norwell total team yards 2, Toledo's 173. Norwell's run 25 plays, Toledo's 23. Passing, Norwell has 13 yards total, Leo's 66. 66 yards on 7 for 10 for Kloffenstein, and Norwell 13 yards there for 4 for 7 for Gerber, although I believe Collins has one pass completion, and he has replaced Gerber, or Wilson, I'm sorry, maybe it's Bray Wilson who came in to replace him wearing number 1. So he does, I believe, have one pass attempt for Norwell's 1-yard pass attempt for Norwell's 13 total yards. Touchdowns to interceptions, Kloffenstein 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Again, that was off the hands of Sauer. And Gerber has 0 touchdowns and the 1 interception that Kern returned for the 6 points. Rushing, Norwell minus 11 yards, Leo 107 on 13 attempts. Norwell has 18 rushing attempts for that minus 11. Receiving yards, 13 again total for Norwell, 66 for the Lions. Penalties, Norwell has 2 penalties for 20 yards. Lions as well have 2 for a total of 20. Norwell with the 1 turnover, which was a big turnover, the pick 6 to Kern. Leo with 2 turnovers, and Norwell again unable to do anything with those. Leo has had 1 fumble, and that was turned over to Norwell. Norwell has had 1 fumble, but they recovered that fumble. Interceptions, again, 1 apiece for each team. Punting attempts, Norwell 5 punts for an average of 30 yards. Von Gunton, or the Leo punter, I'm not sure Von Gunton is doing the punting this year. They have yet to punt this evening. Defensive sacks, 0 for Norwell. 4 sacks for the Lions defense for 19 yards. That's why Norwell is in the minus category for rushing. 19 yards in sack yards puts Norwell at a negative 11 total rushing yards. Time of possession, Norwell's held the ball for 13 minutes, 24 seconds. The Lions for only 9 minutes, 12 seconds. Norwell has created 2 first downs. The Lions 10. One of those first downs for Norwell rushing, 1 passing. The Lions pretty balanced. 5 rushing first downs, 4 passing. And that is about it for those stats. We do have, it looks like, maybe some individual stats, but I'm not going to go into those. I was looking for some defensive stats. Christian Bohada, it looks like, maybe leads Norwell's defense. I'm not sure where those statistics are coming from. There's Joe Lambright for the Lions. 6.5 tackles, 5 solo. Mike Lance has 4.5. Mason Kern with 3.5 with the 1 interception for the touchdown. Wingolakowski has 2 tackles. Bo Carpenter with 1.5. And a host of other Lions credited with 1 tackle. So that looks like that wraps up the stats. I was trying to find Norwell's defensive stats, and I'm scrolling, and I'm not able to find those. I'm not sure where they are. So, again, at 7:09 here left in the half, Leo has a 31-0 lead on the Norwell Knights in the inaugural NE8 conference game. Leo coming into the game 2-0. Norwell coming into the game 0-2. We talked a little bit about that pregame. Next week, the Lions have a big showdown with the New Haven Bulldogs. Again, they are also in the NE8. The NE8 is made up of the 8 teams of Belmont, Columbia City, DeKalb, East Noble, Huntington North, Leo, Norwell, or New Haven and Norwell. So these are both conference games here tonight. Next week, obviously, Leo against New Haven is another conference game, and it is going to be a big game. I'm looking at New Haven's previous 2 games. They're 2-0. They beat Heritage in their opening game, 42-0. And then they also won their second game at Lakeland, 53-19. So it looks like that is going to be a pretty even matchup next week here, again, in the Lions' Den when the Bulldogs come to visit the Lions for the second NEA matchup of the year. Looks like these 2 teams are pretty evenly matched. Both have a lot of offensive skill, and it would appear that both have a lot of defensive skill as well. I'm looking at that New Haven score, 53-19 last week, and again, like Leo, I know I don't believe Leo's first team was scored on. I doubt New Haven's was. That 19 points probably came late in the game, but I didn't see it, and I didn't see the stats on it, so I'm not sure. But so it looks like 2 teams that are evenly matched next week. So if you have a chance to come out to Leo, to the Lions' Den, you're probably going to catch a very, very good. It could be the best conference game of the year for all I know. So a lot on the line next week between Leo and New Haven, 2 evenly matched teams. We will go to a couple of sponsor spots, and then we have about 4 minutes to go, and we'll have the second half underway. So far, it has just been a one-sided affair. Leo taking Norwell down in the first half, 31-0. University of St. Francis, known for quality academic options and dedicated professors. You'll discover the perfect program to fit your interests and goals. See for yourself what USF has to offer. Visit online at sf.edu. And the University of St. Francis also is a sponsor for the halftime show. This is your moment. Explore. The University of St. Francis, a USF education, is a great value. An investment into your future. Apply now at usf.edu. This is your moment. Believe. So we do want to thank the University of St. Francis as well as all of our other sponsors who, if they did not support the Voice Network, we would not be able to bring this telecast or any other telecast, football, boys football, girls basketball, and boys basketball during the year. Those would not be possible. So anytime you get a chance, if you hear one of our sponsors, you get a chance to go into their establishment, tell them that you heard about that you heard about their sponsorship on The Voice, just to let them know that their money did go to a good cause. So thanks to all of our sponsors for providing the money to get The Voice online and bring these games to you. So Steve is back. Steve, I ran down most of the stats, if not all of the stats. Talked already a little bit about the big matchup that looks like is looming next week with the New Haven Bulldogs coming in. Talked about their score, 42-0, their opening game against Heritage. And then they came back the next week and beat Lakeland 53-19. So it looks to me like we've got 2 teams that are pretty high-powered offensively and pretty stout defensively. So there's going to be a little bit of a train wreck here on Lions Field, and I'm looking forward to it.
Indeed. You talk about a test. This is a test.
This is a
Coming
test.
up next week from today, here at Lions Field, 7 o'clock start, AllenCountyVoice.com. We'll be bringing you the moving pictures and commentary. Likely yourself in Newburgh, I'm guessing, unless I'd gladly call that game any day in a heartbeat. I'd like to do that game with anybody.
Absolutely.
So, nonetheless, New Haven currently ranked number 12 in 4A. Leo currently ranked number 11. So both 2-0 records. You highlighted their points forced against their points against. Looks like, what is that, 70? I can't even see it.
42-0 against Heritage?
That's 95-21. Leo, or 95-19. Leo's scored 99, giving up 21. So,
and again, like I talked about when you weren't here, those Leo 21 points scored against, probably against second and third teamers. I'm guessing that's the case when I see a 53-19 score.
Yeah, Leo had
those 19 probably scored in the later portions of that game when the New Haven Bulldogs didn't have their number ones in.
Yeah, both of Leo's opening games, they scored over 30 points in the first half. Last week, having 44-0 lead, they were able to score one more touchdown, and Angola got one in there as well. So 51-7 final there. But yeah, you make a great point. A lot of the time, people call it junk time. We'll probably see a little bit of that, maybe a lot of that coming here in the second half. I'm guessing the second half of this ball game is likely going to go faster than the first, simply because they're not going to pass it. There's going to be very little passing, I would say. You're going to see a lot more running and a lot more running clock. So.
Yeah, and that's probably going to be the case. We're going to probably have a pretty quick second half, but you're going to get some second teamers in the game. Probably in the fourth quarter, you're going to get some third teamers in here, and that's going to provide you with experience down the road when a guy or two gets dinged later in the year. You're going to have some guys that have had some quality time in varsity football games for the Lions anyway,
right,
that are going to get some good big game time experience.
Sure, we saw a lot of that last week out of Blake. Dominic Blake. So, as a running back, he's a younger kid. He plays on JV right now. He's only a sophomore, 5'8", 154, but he's real crafty. And you look at the great running backs that Leo's had over the past few years, and now we have Hensinger, who stepped into that role later in the season last year as a junior. Now he obviously has locked in the starting role this year. So,
with Lambright to back him up, who's quality.
Exactly.
Your power runner.
Indeed, and that's just a shift that kind of happened in the offseason that Coach Souter made as far as the change goes. So we're winding down the halftime entertainment, which really was just a Leo band, I believe.
Oh, and it was an absolutely great show there. The Roar of the Lions, again, coached up by Dr. Bob Myers, who does an outstanding job year in and year out. I only live about a half mile, Steve, north of the school, and nightly we get serenaded by Bob and the band, who are out here a lot of times very late.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Working and practicing to make these kids as good as they are. And it's kind of nice. We hear that band in the evenings, and it's a sweet sound. Love it.
Right, so just want to say all the stats that you covered there at the halftime was brought to you by those guys over there. You can't see them; they're off camera.
Dr. Brian Kaler.
Dr. Brian.
He's a doctor, correct? Doctor of education.
Can you get a doctor? Anyway, those were brought to you by Lee Hout and Brian Kaler, sent over to my smartphone from Mr. Kaler. Thanks for the stats, gentlemen. Appreciate it. Yeah, good game. All right.
And, that's another thing I thought about here today before the broadcast, Steve. Coming into this new conference, you look at the schools and a lot bigger size schools for the Lions to go up against, because Leo's gone up in size as a school as well. So, they have dominated the ACAC the past several years, and then they would come into sectional and they would, or regional or whatever, and hit some teams that played a lot tougher schedules. Now, I'm not going to down the ACAC. Those schools are small, and to me, it was a little bit of an advantage for the Lions. But so you look at the NE8 and the new NE8, and you see that we've got some teams of comparable size. You've got some New Haven, some Huntington Norths, DeKalb, Columbia City schools with some size. East Noble's got a proud football tradition. Norwell does as well. They may be down here a little bit this year, but you're going to hope that this new conference is going to provide Leo with a little bit tougher road before they run into Tournament Row and run into a couple of brick walls.
Sure. Indeed. And you mentioned a road. As we take a look at Jared Souter in his 10th year, currently 79-25 overall.
Unbelievable.
A great record. And it all starts at the lower levels in
Cub football.
We started with Cub football. They
have
opened
to
it up
give them
to
credit.
third graders now. That program started by Kevin Yale, Rohrabacher. I think Rick Lightfoot had his hand.
Probably Denny Kern as well, I'm thinking.
Yeah, several other ones there as well. But
Cub football is a feeder that by the time these kids you look at the Leo 7th and 8th grade programs, year in and year out, they're undefeated. You look at their scores at the end of a game, 48-0. 35-0.
Yeah.
So by the time they get up to Coach Souter, these kids know what they're doing.
Right.
And
by the time they get to 7th grade,
yeah,
they've already played I don't know, close to 100 games together from 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Correct, and they're playing the Leo system.
Right, it's a truncated version of Leo's playbook.
Correct.
Coach Souter is now the head of it. Obviously, he's running the program since it's his program to run, and he takes that and just shakes it down, and it's a great program.
Great program. A lot of kids playing at early ages, so by the time, again, they get up here to high school, these kids are polished, and Coach Souter knows what to do with these polished kids, and he does a phenomenal job with his staff of getting these kids ready to play in some big-time games and really put Leo on the map, a map that they never used to be on in the past.
Right. And a quick thank you to all the coaches that coach on every, throughout the week and then on Saturday mornings for Cub football. That does take a lot of time and effort and dedication to the program itself. So if you're a coach or if you have some sort of hand, or even if you're a parent, because you got to drive your kids to football, thank you from all of us here at The Voice for putting in the effort. As we have the kickoff to Trenton Bonner, he's got the outside, trying to cut it back. Oh, and he's brought down at the 45. Another great run. And oddly enough, he took that about 40 yards, and that was his shortest kickoff return in the last 3 returns. And last 4, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you can see that he's got a motor. And
the kid is amazingly fast.
He takes up a lot of yardage very quickly, and it's tough for a defender, and he can cut on a dime. So he is another high-powered weapon for the Lions.
Absolutely. So we have Hensinger in the backfield. Pretty sure that's
Klopfenstein under center.
Yep. It's a quick handoff. Hensinger through the first level, untouched, gets out to the secondary and drugged down from behind. Trying to see who that was. That was 35, Ivan Allison. Excuse me, Mr. and Mrs. Allison. Didn't mean to mangle your name there. So we talked about the New Haven game, Mike. That's at home, and then Leo goes on a road trip to East Noble. So you talk about a couple of testers.
Wow.
East Noble is not a joke in any way, shape, or form either.
And especially at home, yeah.
Right, so I believe I will be calling that game on the road. It's right down the street from where I work in Kendallville there. We'll be bringing you that one as well. Hensinger off the left side, a little misdirection counter in the backfield off to the left. Nicely called play. But anyway, we talk about New Haven, ranked number 12. We're 11. It should be a pretty good battle on both sides of the ball. And then we talk about going on the road for the first time since the home opener to East Noble in Kennetville. So
yeah, and that's going to absolutely be a test. And then the Lions are back home, I believe, after the East Noble game, and I want to say that's Belmont.
Yeah, so on the road, September 18th at East Noble, at home against Belmont, on the road again, just can't wait to go, at Huntington North, home against Columbia City, and at DeKalb. So every game remaining, starting with this one, there's going to be 8 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more, sorry. They're all conference games, and after this one, it's away, home, away, home, away, home, away.
Okay.
It's an alternating format. After a 3-game homestand, this being the rubber game, the one in the middle, the second of the 3 at home for the Lions in the Jungle to start their 2015-2016 season.
It looked like Lamb right there with that's Hensinger for a power run off the right side, and he picks up the first down. So it's been a lot of Hensinger, like you said, Steve. Not a lot of passing here, if any, in the opening minutes of the third quarter.
Right.
Constant running plays, keep that clock running, but the Leo Lions have kept their number ones in so far. I'm sure if they get another quick score here, you're going to start seeing some 2s come in. Again, and that's a valuable experience that a lot of teams don't have the privilege of getting, because other teams are playing close games, and your 2s and 3s just don't get in the game as much. So
Lions take timeout.
Leo calls a timeout, so there's a little bit of a miscommunication on that play call. And it is going to be 1st and 10. Lions have the ball on the Norwell 22, looking to score early here in the third quarter. Taking the opening kick for a great return And then it's been the Hensinger show. He had a long gain of about 21, 22 yards, and then 3 or 4 rushes since then to pick up another first down. And the Lions are in business, and they're getting this play call squared away.
I didn't actually have a chance to dig into the stats there. I know you did a great job, most likely, as always, as you always do. I wanted to see what the Lions rushed for in the first half.
I think it was 66 maybe rushing yards.
107.
107, all right,
rushing
66
and 66
passing. Yeah,
passing.
that's
So
right.
107 yards in the first half. I'd be interested to see how they finish after the game is over. So.
And Norwell with the minus 11 rushing, but that's due to 19 sack yards by the Lions.
Right. So when you get sacked, it's usually behind the line of scrimmage. As Hensinger off the left side, he's going to try and pop it in. And the ref
just
is
at the
waving
one.
him down
Yep.
at the 1. So a great job again by Hensinger getting outside. And you really got to give the offensive line credit again, Mike. These guys have been blowing their man off the line on a consistent basis tonight, and that's not just one-sided, because I'm a Leo fan. But I mean, you've watched it. You're watching the same game I'm watching. So if you have a problem seeing that, then you should probably adjust your browser.
Well, and that's an advantage too, because when these guys are getting the push, they're opening holes up the middle, and
Sure.
then Hensinger's got the speed to pop it to get the corner on the outside. So they're hitting them on the inside and outside. There's an up the middle run, and that is good for a touchdown.
All right.
So
go
that
for it there.
I couldn't see if that was Hensinger. Yep. So it was the Hensinger show
Yes, sir.
early here in the third quarter to give the Lions a 37-0 lead with our good friend Von Gunton coming in for the point after.
This point after is brought to you, or point after attempt is brought to you by Indiana Physical Therapy. BVG. Nice high kick out to the track.
Point after touchdown by Ben.
Yeah, it's safe to say that Von Gunton has a live leg. That ball doesn't hit the tee for long, and he's popping that ball. You can hear the thump,
Indeed.
and that ball is up and off the tee in a heartbeat. So he has a live leg and doesn't miss many, if any, and he splits the uprights 9 times out of 10. It doesn't matter where he is on the attempt. Very, very good weapon for the Lions. That could come in handy next week in a close game if you have a close game with the New Haven Bulldogs.
Right. And as I updated the Subway and University of St. Francis scoreboard with the extra point, that was brought to you by Indiana Physical Therapy. Indiana Physical Therapies, highly trained professionals, treat all types of injuries and ailments and accepts all insurances. That's the good news. All insurances, you can't go wrong there.
And that's rare.
Get yourself some physical therapy if you need it. More information on IPT, a.k.a. Indiana Physical Therapy, if you're following along at home, or to schedule an appointment, visit IndianaPT.com. That's INDIANAPT.com. And BVG is going to put one deep in the air again. Bounces at the 5, juggled there by Nash. Nash out to the right side, trying to cut it across field, looking for something. And he is brought down nicely by Lance.
Down near the 5-yard line.
A great job of pursuit. And you talked about it again. You put a ball in the air that time, that high, that's just hang time. A lot of these guys can get down the field with a running start. They can get down the field in 5, 6, 7 seconds.
Yeah, it's such an advantage. Your coverage team can get down. They can fight off blocks. They can get down, form their wall, and just cut off any alley that the return man's going to look for. So they do. They string them out more often than not, and Leo has the speed to make the tackle. So
we got
Norwell with a 1st and 10 on their 6. There's a pitch, and immediately brought down by Mr. Joe Lambright.
And that was Ringer on the pitch to the outside there from
Carson Ringer.
Ray Wilson.
Wilson is back in, number 1. He did have one pass attempt. I talked a little bit about that at halftime for a small gainer.
And of course, we talked about the offensive side of the ball with the line there. These guys on the defensive side of the ball are eating them up too. I mean, they're feeding them their lunch. We don't see 54 Jahan Allen, who goes 6'4", 343, one of the biggest guy on the team. He's now on the bench, but we still have Rinker as well. Oh, and we got a false start. That's going to be on the punter, big old Hunter Engel.
And that's
6'4", 266 on the right side. He thought it was on one, but it was on two. Anyhow.
Yeah, that's going to move Norwell back, which is not what they need this evening to be put in more of a hole with the way the Lions defense is playing.
Yeah, but just to touch on how the Lions D has been playing. As far as the D line, they've been dominating up front with Rinker, with Jay. I'm totally spacing.
Who are you thinking of?
Winglikowski. Gosh,
Winglikowski has had a monster game so far.
Yeah. So
yeah, they're causing the Norwell offensive line all kinds of fits. Getting a nice play there by the Lion defense.
And a run up the gut there by Peyton Laley.
About a 4-yard gain, so it makes it 3rd and 13.
It's actually about 3rd and 9.
Yeah, they haven't taken that down yet. 3rd and 9.
3rd down.
With the ball on about the 8-yard line of the Knights. So this is a big play if Norwell wants to get something going here with 5:32 to go in the third quarter. You'd like to see him pick up a first down here and try to get a little momentum, a little positivity going on that offensive side of the ball.
This is Wilson again.
There's a
Great
safety.
Pressure, and a safety it is. And we're calling the number of Mason Kern, number 4. Call Mason Kern's number and name quite a bit tonight. He had a real nice sack before. The very following play had a pick six, put the Lions up. I think that was 21-0 at the time. A big safety on the drop back from Wilson. It couldn't get outside, and that's going to be 2 more points for the Lions.
Yeah, very big night for Mason Kern. You like to see that. That's maybe one of the biggest nights he's had in his whole football career. So I know he's having a good time. I know his dad's enjoying it. Hopefully he's able to tune in, or maybe he's here. I know he's a Woodland administrator, so he may have to be at the Woodland game, but he'll get to watch this game back. Dr. Denny Kern, probably very proud at this moment of his son and his performance tonight.
Right. And this kickoff from, are they going to kick or punt? Last week we had a safety. Lions were able to get a safety. Angola decided to kick it off from the 20. After already having run one back from Trenton Bonner, they kicked it just over the 50-yard line to about the 43, 7 yards deep, and that was about a 57-yard kick return. Now this time, Hunter is going to put the ball on foot from the drop kick,
Hunter Engel with the
and he does a nice job of getting one deep. Muffled there that time by Milady.
Jacob Milady.
And Milady gets past one defender and brought down by a
On the stop was Austin
host
Miller,
host
of Norwell Knights.
of Knights. What is
Well, if you're a Knight and there are a lot of you,
is
and
it a
you're,
brigade?
I don't believe that word is associated with
I got nothing. I don't know.
knightdom. Is that a word?
Knightdom? Okay.
Knightdom? No, I don't know.
Nonetheless, we digress. Lions are going to come out with number 3 as the quarterback. That's Ryan Gauze. Handoff in the backfield.
Couple of extended blocks going on there after the play. The referee's going to call the two guys together and
Number 4 was the ball carrier.
thank them for wishing each other an early Merry Christmas.
Yeah, that was
That
Zach
was nice.
Sauer. Zach Sauer and Brody Myers had a little extracurricular, if I can say that. Easy for me to say. Little extracurricular activity going on after that play.
I think they were discussing what pizza is better at Marco's, the white cheesy or the Supreme. I think that was what the fight was over.
I'd fight you about it.
There's a pitch.
Gauze
That's the
on
Brown.
the option.
Carry.
And that was to Mason Kern, the guy who's done a lot of work on defense. Now he's getting some time at the tailback position with 3 minutes and 45 seconds left here in the third quarter. Also like to thank Grable Insurance. Their most important job is to make sure you leave with the best coverage you can afford. Grable Insurance on Pony Express Run, inside the Mercantile Office Park.
So Kern with a little bit of a loss there. I'm sure his dad's going to talk to him about not knifing the ball up a little sooner, not getting strung out. If I know his dad, lower the shoulder and run that up in there, son. Don't string it out.
So some other changes. The very top of your screen, wide out, Brandon Bainey, number 11, and a dropped snap. Milady does it. It was Gauze. Tried to get out of it, and it was going nowhere fast. But there is a penalty on the play as fourth down comes up.
See what that penalty was.
There is a flag at the line of scrimmage.
It's a procedure call
false
on
start
the Lions.
against the Lions. I doubt
they're
that
going
they're
to decline
take
it.
Yep, they do decline it.
So that's going to bring in the punting unit for the Lions for the first time this evening.
And we'll get a look at BVG from the punting side of things. As we mentioned earlier, he should stick it out a little bit to the side, hit the back of the ball, creating a ton of topspin, and roll it on down the old field there. So back deep is Carson Ringer.
Von Gunson in punt formation.
And one other, I think it might be Nash. Oh, he actually put that one up high.
And that's going to be a 15-yard penalty, roughing the kicker. He did not hit the ball, and he took Von Gunton's leg completely out, knocking him to the ground. Flag comes out. That's going to be a 15-yard roughing the kicker, and that's going to be a Leo first down.
Might not be enough for the first down.
You're right. You're right. It's going to be close.
It's close. They might go ahead and punt it again if that is the call, and we know it is the call. He did knock him down. He put him on his butt.
Yeah, it was
after the kick got away.
It was probably a 4th and 18 or 19, so it won't be enough after the 15 yards. Unless the personal foul's an automatic first down?
No.
Nope.
Well, the marker, okay. I would say the guy on the sideline with the yard marker just made it a first. And now the chain gang is moving it as a first down. However, that was short of the line to gain. But it looks like an automatic first down because of the nature of this personal foul.
That might have been an automatic first down. So Lions will maintain possession.
Indeed it was. So number 7, Zach Sauer, stays in the bottom of your screen. Coming up right about now. You got Clevis Parker in a tight end position off the line. And that was Gauze again up the center. Mason Kern. Gauze would be the quarterback, number 3. Mason Kern, number 4. Taking it up the gut for a short game, about 2.5, call it 3. That'll be about 2nd and 8.
Yeah, that time there wasn't a lot of room there for Kern, but I like it. He took the ball up the middle, lowered his shoulder, and made something out of nothing there for a couple yards. So it is 2nd and 8 with the ball on the Norwell 39. I'll call it the 40. 1:07 to go here in the third quarter. Leo up 40-0 in the inaugural NE8 matchup between the Leo Lions and the Norwell Knights.
This will likely be the last play of this quarter as we got about 50 seconds to go. It's an option play this time. Mason Kern to the outside. Slips in. He is stuck down on the ground by Stoppenhagen.
Now you can see the field still has a little moisture. It probably peppered a little bit into the second quarter, but that field is still a little slick. Kern tried to put the brakes on there, and he slid.
Indeed. And, even the rain stopped. It's still humid. This field's not going to dry up at all tonight. So they're playing on the night dew that you'll usually have in these earlier games in the season of the high school year.
And you're right, Steve. They're not going to get another play off, so they're going to let the clock wind down, and that will be the end of the third quarter here at the Lions Den.
All right, we're going to do...
I got a spot here.
kick it over to
Grable Insurance. Their most important job is to make sure you leave with the best coverage you can afford. Grable Insurance on Pony Express Run inside the Mercantile Office Park. Give Grable Insurance a call for all of your insurance needs.
And we're going to hear a word from the sponsors. We'll be back right after this. Mike Walker and Steve Roberts covering on AltonCountyVoice.com from the jungle. Leo Lions 40 at the end of the third, and the Norwell Knights 0.
You taking the first step towards a healthier you, or are you just tired of the same workout? From beginners to fitness veterans, the Greater Fort Wayne YMCA is the place for you. We offer a full range of workout equipment, personal trainers, certified instructors, a full line of classes, an indoor pool, and so much more.
Yes, there is so much more at the YMCA. Looks like I didn't get enough time to play that little spot there. And just had Paul Newberg text me, says score, ? I would have thought he would have logged on to AllenCountyVoice.com and watched the telecast.
Coach, the score is 40-0 Leo with 11:33 to go here in the fourth quarter. Yeah, we would think you would have the technology to log on, Coach, but that's possible. He's in the concession stand, and he has his earbuds in. He's just tuned in, not able to see the scoreboard. Looks like we did a little snap out again. I'm sorry, folks, with that Zoom. So Dr. Newberg tonight offering goodies and treats of all shapes and sizes and kinds at the Bishop Luers concession stand. Maybe he could text us with a score from that game. That would be nice. We would put that score on.
First and 10 at the Knights 29.
Who's Luers playing tonight?
I do not know. It may be Dwenger. I think maybe it's Luers Dwenger. Coach Newberg could possibly give us a heads up on that. That would be great.
I'm going to get that information here shortly. We got a different back in there this time for the Lions. Taking around the right side for a little bit of a gain there, and that's Jack Kirsten, a 5'9", 160-pound sophomore running back. So, again, we get to see some, get some looks from some other younger underclassmen.
A nice little cut outside there for a pickup of a couple when there wasn't much room by Jack Kirsten. So the Lions really not in any hurry up, Steve, like you talked about. They're just going to milk the clock as much as possible. They don't want to run the score up on Norwell, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And we've got 10 minutes left to go, but they just don't look like they're in any hurry. And I think that's a good thing.
Right. Another option, that's a pitch outside, and he's brought down big time there again by Ringer. I'm sorry, that's Allison.
Yeah, that was Ivan Allison. Yeah, you got it on that stop. Nice hit there by Allison. Norwell's defense not giving up. They're still playing hard. They have pride. They don't like to look up at a scoreboard with the goose egg. And they don't. I definitely know the defense doesn't like to look up and see that 40 points have been given up, even though 33 have been put on the defense. The other 7 that was on the offense, but with the pick 6. But these guys have pride, and it looks like they're going to play hard throughout the rest of the fourth quarter, and I like it. Another pitch out there, and another. Kirsten with another carry on the right side, and a good gang tackle there by Norwell. Brody Myers was the one to make the first stop.
That'll bring up
Yep.
fourth down.
So another SAC matchup. Luers is taking on Wayne right now.
So it's Wayne.
Yeah.
I was close. Wayne Dwinger, close.
It's got some similar letters.
Wow.
At least the W and the
okay.
the W.
There's an E. All right.
It's tied at 0.
Tied at 0. So
I'm trying to find out how much
juggernaut.
I'm trying to find out how much game is left. It's nearly 9 o'clock Eastern
Maybe
time.
that game was delayed a little longer.
I think there were a few other games in the area that were delayed back to 7:30 or even 8 o'clock this evening, as the Fort Wayne area on a Friday night was peppered with some storms and some lightning.
Yeah, a lot of lightning.
Some rain.
So
to go along.
Kirsten carries there on the 4th down. Doesn't pick up the 4th down, but that's okay. Change of possession goes to Norwell. So they'll take the ball over on their own 25-yard line, 1st and 10 with 8:12 to go. Again, Leo up 40-0. Yeah, I would assume
So
a lot of the heavy stuff went south storm-wise of Leo here, and I know those storms had a lot of lightning embedded, so I'm guessing quite a few games were delayed like ours.
Indeed. He did confirm that they started late. They're in the 3rd quarter right now, but an opening half with a scoreless Lures and Wayne game, that's something to say on both sides. That
surprising.
That ledger. The handoff up the left side, a short gain there for number 23. None other than Carson Ringer. I knew it was Ringer. I'm getting Ringer and Stoppenhagen mixed up. I don't know.
And I'm seeing a lot of number 2s, if not all number 2s here by the Lion defense. I'm having a hard time seeing all the numbers from our angle.
Yeah.
But it looks like a majority, if not all, the defenders now are number 2s for the Lions.
Yeah, 7 minutes left, 7:10 and counting. I'm pretty sure they're doing a running clock. I don't know that there's a reason to stop the clock, unless it's obviously an incomplete pass or something to that effect. But, yeah, this is we'll just say this one's in the books, 40-0 currently, 6:52 left and counting.
Yeah, and Norwell looks like they're going to be content to just run the ball and keep the clock moving, like you said.
Yeah.
I don't see much good in passing attempts, but we'll see. You never know. Little play action here. See if you can burn in the second unit here of the Lions. You never know. In the I formation, there's another handoff, and he does roll out. Looks like he had the tight end open, if that is a tight end, number 33 there. The ball was just off his hands.
Yeah, that's Peyton Laley.
He's a running back.
They just ran him out of the backfield, just a quick up and out. Catch him in the flats. It was just overthrown. It was a pretty well-designed play. Leo is able to come up with a gift that was given to him in the form of an overthrown pass. So on the incomplete pass, the clock is running.
And 4th down, and that's going to be a Norwell punt.
Real high. Gets a Norwell roll. That's going to be down to about the 38-yard line. So they do stop the clock that way as a change of possession. 5:54 left here in the 4th quarter of the inaugural NE8 game for the Leo Lions. Leo 40, Norwell Knights 0. Also want to thank one of the sponsors, New Holland Tri-County. Mike, you can go to New Holland Tri-County and get yourself the new Rustler utility vehicle. I'm not sure if you knew that.
I didn't know that, but I actually could use a utility vehicle.
Rustler?
I have not, but I could use one.
Yeah, they combine the rugged construction and gritty performance with comfort. So I know you're all about comfort. So that's a positive thing for you.
At 6'5"?
That's right. You need the comfort. As we see Kirsten getting taken down in the backfield for a loss. But there's numerous choices to choose from. Visit New Holland Tri-County on Highway 1 South in Bluffton for the brand-new Rustler utility vehicle. Also want to thank Adams Memorial Hospital. Healthcare close to home. Easy for me to say. Sports teams can utilize the professional services of the sports clinic led by Dr. David Coase. Orthopedic care close to home. Adams Memorial Hospital. And, of course, by one of our absolute favorites all season long into basketball season, Marco's Pizza, located in the greater metropolitan area of Leo. Downtown Leo, as they say here, serves not only pizza, but wings, subs, breads, sticks, many other delicious items. Marco's offers catering, carryout, and delivery. Marco's Pizza in Leo. What's one of your favorite websites?
One of my favorite websites is Marcos.com.
There you go.
And you type in Marcos.com and you can go to any Marco's Pizza in the United States. You just type in a zip code. It'll take you right to if you're here in the Leo area, just type in your zip and you can order a pizza online. As easy as that. Or always give them a call for a delivery, or you can go in and pick it up and say hi to the kids there and also tell them that you heard about Marco's on The Voice.
And you might get a high five. I can't guarantee like a discount or anything, but
you can always try.
well, yeah, or call it in, they'll deliver. 260-627-2227 or Marcos.com.
That is a number that has saved my wife and I a lot of late evenings after a golf match, or my other daughter is a cheerleader and we just don't want to make a big dinner. We call old Marcos and they hook us up with a pizza and a salad, maybe some chicken, and it's always good. It's always served hot.
Oh, BVG, and here he's making me a liar. Oh, a great hit that time.
Perfectly timed.
By Gunnar Brown, number 5. He hit the number 27 punt returner, and that was, I don't have it here, I'm sorry.
Carpenter made the recovery.
Perfect hit.
Yeah, so Rory Antrim took the really high kick this time from BVG, the punt that is. Bounced off his hands and was hit instantly by Gunnar Brown. Leo was able to recover the ball, and we have 3 minutes and counting, and that should pretty much do it. They're probably going to run about 4 to 5 more plays, if that. I would say 4 is pretty safe, maybe 3. So anyhow, this should pretty much wrap it up. We also want to thank the Leo medical staff, headed up by Dr. Matt Heller on the sideline, the professional medical care.
Who always does a great job with any injury or strain.
Oh, and this time he cuts it back, and there is a flag on the field. That's Jack cutting it back.
Kirsten inside the 10-yard line.
That's going to be a hold, I'm sure.
A hold or an illegal block, one or the other.
Yep.
It's really, really difficult when you get a guy running all the way to the left side of the field, close to the sideline, about the numbers that are painted on the field, cuts all the way back to the other side.
Well, what happens?
Change of direction.
Yeah, you get a defender who you're ready to block, and because there's a cutback and you don't see it, he turns his back, and you end up, you were going to block him in the front, and all of a sudden the back of his numbers are facing you, and you give that push, and that's what happens. You get the block in the back. This is your moment. Explore the University of St. Francis. A USF education is a great value and investment into your future. Apply now at usf.edu. This is your moment. Believe.
All right, and thanks again to the University of St. Francis. For helping us out and putting us on the old airwaves, on the interwebs. So that'll do it. 1:56 left, and Leo is lining up in what they typically call the victory formation. Just going to take a knee after the big penalty there. So we got 1:44.
So a couple more kneel downs, and this game will. This inaugural NE8 matchup between the Norwell Knights and the Leo Lions will be in the history books. Leo taking this first game.
And just a great overall performance. They came out and just dominated from the get-go. That's one thing that they've done so far. I can't speak to the first game because I didn't see it. However, I do know that they scored 20, close to 30 points or more, and I think it was 35-0 at half, if I'm not mistaken, in the first game against Riley at South Bend. They came out against Angola, a kickoff return for a touchdown. They got the ball back on a turnover on downs. The first play from scrimmage, yet again, that they had on offense here at home in the home opener last week was a 47-yard touchdown pass from Craig Kloffenstein. And we fast forward to today's game. The same type of thing happens. The Lions just get out to a quick start, and they're just not looking back, and there's no need to. With 42 seconds left on the clock and about 25 seconds on the play clock, which hasn't started.
And really, that's been, Steve, a pattern of the Lions over the past few years. They just jump out on teams, get early leads. For the most part, starters aren't playing into the third and fourth quarter. And again, this year, I'm glad to see that they're going to step up a little bit in competition. Again, saying nothing against the ACAZ, very proud conference. Just schools that just don't have the number of kids
right
to match Leo's numbers. So
And I'm not so sure that other schools in the ACAC or other schools around the area, maybe even in the NE8, are doing what Leo's doing with the Cub football programming and fostering that. And it's not something that happens overnight. They've had that program for well over a decade, since prior to when Coach Sauter had been here in his tenure. And now he is basically reaping the benefits of that as a coach. And that's a great thing for him to be fortunate to have. And I know he definitely considers himself fortunate. Yeah. Very, very,
in that regard, very beneficial to have the feeder program that Leo has here, and then that's why they've been as good as they have been for the past 10 or so years. But I'm looking forward to next week, a battle against New Haven. Again, a very similar size school, and then they're going to come back and head out to East Noble, who's always a tough football school, and then they're going to go on the road to play East Noble. So I'm looking forward to seeing that, and then that's going to be a couple of really good tests for these Lions, who haven't had those tests early or mid-season the last few years. So looking forward to that.
Exactly. I'm going to queue up a few commercials on the video side. We now have video commercials, folks. That's how advanced we are. The production truck is getting those queued up as we speak. We're going to go ahead and cut to those, and we'll be back with some end-of-game stats, a look ahead yet again to next week with the New Haven Bulldogs here at home in a 3-0, and I'm guessing New Haven's going to be 3-0 most likely at that point in time anyhow, but we'll figure it out by the time we get there. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with the the YMCA, I believe. Yeah, the YMCA of Greater Fort Wayne post-game show, and they're also going to present the player of the game. We'll be right back.
It's not always about speed. It's not always about sponsors. It's not always about glamour. It's about getting the job done right. No matter what you have to push, pull, or move, New Holland and your local dealers are ready to help you finish like a champion. New Holland. It's not always about speed. It's not always about sponsors. It's not always about glamour. It's about getting the job done right. No matter what you have to push, pull, or move, New Holland and your local dealers are ready to help you finish like a champion. New Holland.
We listen.
And we help.
Behavioral health at Adams Memorial Hospital. Supportive so you're healthy in every way. We react.
And we heal.
Emergency services at Adams Memorial Hospital. Responsive so you're healthy in every way.
Live life to the fullest at Adams Woodcrest Villas and Apartments. Make new friends and take part in educational, inspirational, and just plain fun activities. Enjoy the best in maintenance-free independent living. Enjoy life at Adams Woodcrest Villas and Apartments in Decatur.
Greater Fort Wayne YMCA is so much more. Join today. Visit fwymca.org.
At Grable Insurance, their most important job is to make sure you At Grable Insurance, their most important job is to make sure you leave with the best coverage you can afford. They want to provide you protection from the unfortunate things that can happen and often do happen. The cheapest insurance is often not the best.
Visit online at GrableInsurance.com or stop in the office on Pony Express Run inside the Mercantile Office Park, directly across from Higher Grounds Coffee House, and see Ray Gage or Arnie Myers. Grable Insurance is a proud sponsor of East Allen County High School athletics.
Hi, this is Dale from the Voice Enterprises. For countless years, I struggled with back pain, and more often than not, the doctors would just prescribe pain meds, which would just dull the pain. It wasn't until I was referred to Indiana Physical Therapy that I truly experienced pain relief. The professionals at IPT showed me the correct exercises and stretches for my problems, and my back pain began to fade away, and as a result, my entire body began to feel better. Indiana Physical Therapy's highly trained professionals treat all types of injuries and ailments and accept all insurance. For more information on IPT or to schedule an appointment, call 824-0522 or visit indianapt.com. You know that Marco's Pizza in downtown Leo offers delicious pizza. But did you also know they have wings, subs, bread, and many other items that are also delicious? And did you know you could order online at marcospizza.com? And did you know they have catering to help out with that party, meeting, or any event? And did you know they have carry-out and delivery? Well, now you know. Marco's Pizza in downtown Leo has pizza and so much more. You can get carry-out, delivery, catering, and order online, or call them at 627-2227. That's 627-2227. Marco's Pizza in downtown Leo.
It took Subway restaurants to do flatbread sandwich great, fresh roasted until its flavor reaches the towering peaks of Mount Delicious. You may have had other flatbread, but once you sink your teeth into this appetite-busting mountain of flavor, you'll know this is the real deal. Get any of your Subway favorites on our full-flavor flatbreads and let your taste buds sink into the delicious depth of goodness. Subway of Bluffton, eat fresh with 2 locations to serve you in North Main and inside Walmart.
T.W. Fable, a modern American restaurant, is located inside the clubhouse at Timber Ridge Golf Course at 2330 East, 250 North in Bluffton. You can enjoy a fine dining experience Tuesday through Thursday, 5 to 9, Friday and Saturday, 5 to 10. Kitchen closes 1/2 hour prior to lounge. If you are looking for a great spot to have lunch, visit 250 Grill to enjoy some sandwiches, wraps, salads, and appetizers. T.W. Fable Restaurant, 2330 East, 250 North at Timber Ridge Golf Course. Reservations recommended by calling 260-353-1360. This is your moment. Explore the University of St. Francis. Known for our quality academic options and dedicated professors who practice in their fields, you will discover the perfect program to fit your interests and goals. Hands-on experience with internships, clinicals, and co-ops makes a USF education a great value and investment into your future. Apply now at sf.edu. We are seeking applicants for $15 million in scholarships this year. This is your moment. Believe.
All right, folks, we are back. Going to wrap this up with a little bow on it here for you with the Leo faithful still listening, I hope, for the YMC of Greater Fort Wayne post-game show and player of the game. What was the final score there, Mike?
Final score was Leo Lions 40, Norwell Knights 0 on the inaugural NE8 matchup, first matchup of the conference. And again, we're going to talk about the YMCA of Greater Fort Wayne Player of the Game. Now it's time to pick the Player of the Game, sponsored by the YMCA of Greater Fort Wayne. The Y encourages everyone to have fun and build character. Check into the Learn, Grow, and Thrive before and after school child care program at your area. YMCA.
All right, I now have the score updated and some stats. As you can see, pretty one-sided.
Pretty one-sided.
Yeah. So just to run them down, obviously you can see them right there on the screen, folks. 13 passing yards and negative 12 rushing yards. The couple of turnovers that Norwell had led to actually, I think they had more than 2. It might have been 3. The safety, you call it a turnover. Anyhow, one was a safety, one was a pick six, and actually I think that might be just it. And you can see the bottom line is the bottom line.
Yeah.
First downs, 16-2.
Yeah.
You're not going to win many ball games if you can only muster up 2 first downs.
Well, and if you do the math, Steve, 1 total yard for the Norwell Knights on the night. Yeah.
Sure. And that just is a big credit to what we talked about a long time, basically all night, and it's the sign of the season so far. The Lions only given up 21 points, now 7 a game is the average this season. They scored 99, I believe, so now they're at 139 forced on the season. So That's going to bring us real quick. A great job by the Lions in the third game. And again, as you mentioned, we mentioned a bunch of times, the first conference game that the Lions have played in the NE8. And that will now bring us to the YMCA of Greater Fort Wayne Player of the Game.
And there was a host of Lions, Steve, that we talked about.
There's a Pride of Lions.
Pride of Lions.
Yeah.
We're gaggle of geese. Anyway, Lambright had a beastly night. 7.5 tackles, I think 6 solo. Yeah. He also had a touchdown in the game, a couple of big sticks. He was in the Norwell's backfield all night long. Hensinger had a heck of a game.
Well, Lambright at 6'2", 215 of solid muscle, it's kind of hard not to have a beastie game.
It is. Anyways. He's just a beast, and Hensinger had a great game here running the ball for the Lions. But you decided, and I think together we decided we are going to.
Number 4, Mason Kern. Congratulations, Mason. You played a phenomenal game. If you're watching this on the replay, obviously you had a safety. You had a huge sack right before that save. Excuse me. You had a huge sack in the backfield. That led to a pick 6 on the subsequent play. That put us in position to put Leo in position up 21-0 early in the first quarter, I believe it was.
Really sealed the deal at that point. Yeah.
Right, and then later in the game, had himself a nice safety in the backfield, in the end zone rather, and just a great overall.
Again, he was in the backfield all night too, causing pressure off the ends, and he was blitzing and rushing and causing the quarterbacks for Norwell all pick 6 for 4-6.
A huge sack. Yeah. A pick 6 right afterwards. Got himself a safety.
Unbelievable night. And he ran the ball a few times as well tonight on offense. So
right.
So
3 solo tackles, 3
full
assists,
meal deal. Yep.
2 sacks, a safety, and a pick 6. Great job, Mason Kern. And that is pretty much going to do it. There's not really much more to talk about.
No, I'd like to see
aside from New Haven game next week here at the Jungle.
New Haven played DeKalb tonight. I haven't seen that score come across. I'd like to see what that score was, but we're going to head for a train wreck here in the Lions Den next week, folks. So if you have a chance to come out to see Leo, number 11 in the state against New Haven, number 12 in the state, it's going to be a great game, and the Voice is going to be here to provide it for you. But if you get a chance to come out and put yourself in the bleachers to see it, you know it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, and weather permitting, it'll probably be a pretty packed house.
Yeah.
I doubt we'll have to bring out the canopy for next week. Well,
no,
hopefully
not. Yeah.
And I'm not really sure who is actually going to bring you that game via the Voice. However, we do know the production truck will be running.
Our guys will be here.
We definitely know that we will have that game for you. So to wrap it up here in the inaugural NE8 game for the Leo Lions. The Leo Lions 40 and the Norwell Knights 0. For Mike Walker, my name is Steve Roberts. Have a good evening, folks.
Thanks for tuning in.